Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name is Jax, and today I'm going to be answering some of your questions. These questions are coming from mostly Instagram, a few on TikTok, and a few on the YouTube comments. So thank you for anyone who submitted them. It is currently a very snowy day. I hope you can see that. Lots of snow, great fun, love it, as you do. So, what better to answer your questions? I'm just gonna get right into it. Do I have any particular workout regime, or is it simply what I feel like at the moment? Yes and no. I typically do have like a typical routine. The last 2 months, I've really been working on my back. I've been trying to get my back muscles a little bit more developed. I've been focusing on getting a little bit more lean. I don't do the whole bulk cut thing that bodybuilders and lots of people do nowadays, but I try and just do what kind of feels natural and what I want to do. And if I feel like one particular muscle is not getting enough workout on, I will focus on that for a little bit until it's kind of not sore, but it's starting to feel like it's growing, and then I just stop and let it grow. What is my ideal first date? I honestly believe that a simple classic coffee date is the perfect date because it allows you to get to know the person. If the date goes really well, you can go for like a walk afterwards, or you can extend the date. But if it's not going well, it's kind of easy just to cut it off there and you haven't really committed to anything. So I really like that. I also really like lunch dates. I think lunch dates are nice because you can go to lots of cool places, have lunch. It's usually pretty quiet, especially during the week, if it works for both of your schedules. So either lunch date or coffee date for sure. We're gonna skip that one. How can I describe myself in 5 words? Curious, solitary, introspective, creative, Taoist. Those are the 5 words I'd use to describe me. What part of Canada do I live? It looks beautiful. It is beautiful, Alberta, Canada. Snowy and all. I love it here, but yeah. Will I come to Seattle? I've been to Seattle. I was in Seattle last year, actually, and I would love to come again. Seattle's amazing. No, I do not have a boyfriend. Dating age range. Okay, I usually say 7 years either way, but honestly, now and then you meet somebody who is not in that age range, like significantly older than I am. And I would not be opposed to that whatsoever. So I don't really have a dating age range. My primary active focus, I don't actively date right now, but my focus would be probably 7 years either way. And that's kind of very loose because dating a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old is I don't know who I was at 20, so I don't know. You'd have to be a very mature 20-year-old who knows who you are and what you are kind of doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but you have to have kind of an idea, So it really depends on maturity level in that. Because I've met people who are in their 40s who still act like they're 18 years old, and that's not my vibe. So what is the best moment of your entire life? I don't really have a best moment of my entire life. I have some very good moments. I used to pick up, or my parents would take me to pick up my grandparents when they would visit us from England. And I remember always running to my grandparents and giving them big hugs. And that was always pretty special. And so they're kind of moments like that are really, really pure. Spending time with my friends, those kinds of moments are pretty big to me. As a child, did you have any fun fashion phases? My mom basically chose what I would wear until I was probably 10 or 11 years old. I was we have this store in Canada called the Hudson's Bay or the Bay. And they're kind of known for having these kind of very chic clothes for kids. And so I was a Bay baby. My mom would just dress me up in all of these very nice outfits, but I didn't really I never had a phase. I never had I want to wear this. It was sort of here's your clothes. And so then I would just go for that. When you're in your talking phase, how do you move on to more serious things? I'm trying to rephrase that because it's kind of worded interesting. Um, when you're in a talking phase with somebody, the only way to get out of that is just honest communication. You just like, you need to like sit them down or just text them and be like, hi, are we dating? Like, what's going on here? Do you want to go on a date? You know, and you just need to be kind of direct. And if they hesitate in any way, or if they say, oh yeah, it's just been really busy, like we should get around to it in a week or two, just move on. You know, they're not interested. I think you have to be really pragmatic and just take a hint when people are just not interested. I'm trying to get really good at that. When somebody gives me even the slightest indication that they're not interested, it's like, okay, I'm gonna move on now. What sort of farm do I work on? I work on a tree nursery and a crop farm. There isn't a whole lot to do in the winter, so I'm also a property manager, but yeah, that's the kind of farm. Who would I consider my hero? I have a few heroes for different things. I have several family members who are kind of personal heroes of mine just because of the things they've done and sort of how I look up to them and that sort of thing, and they've mentored me, obviously. I have a few heroes that I like historically, like historical figures. I think Winston Churchill was really important in World War II. And yeah, I just have a few people like that. In terms of like personal responsibility and things like that, I look up to Jordan Peterson a little bit. He's a little bit more religious than, well, he's a lot more religious than I am, but some of his advice about personal responsibility and stuff like that. Believe it or not, the late Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, I like a lot of what he had to say about the environment and like personal responsibility and stuff like that. So yeah, usually just like old men, typically. I don't know what it is. Obviously there's other people, but what is my type? I get asked this a lot, and my general response is usually dark hair, dark eyes, crooked smile, around my height. I really don't have like a thing about height. I don't, you know, like super short, doesn't matter. Super tall, doesn't matter. Yeah, I typically, it's like personality thing. Like my type is kind of laid back, chill, go with the flow, typically positive, an optimist. I've hung out with pessimists before, and it's just not my vibe. I don't like it. So would I ever consider to moving to the United States for a newfound love? Maybe. Yeah, I'd really have to love them to agree to move to America. I like Canada, so yeah. Sorry. What song are you obsessed with right now? Cinnamon Girl by Lana Del Rey. For whatever reason, that song just slaps, and it's so pretty. I listened to like a slowed down version of it on YouTube. It's just Cinnamon Girl slowed down, and that's really pretty. So yeah. Does the gay farm life get lonely? Not really. I'm not susceptible to loneliness. I saw this video not too long ago, and it was like, I am alone. And then in the next one, it was like, I am alone. And like just the emphasis on the words. And I feel like that, you know, like I enjoy solitude. I enjoy being by myself. I used to have like a really like bad self-talk, like the little voice in my head used to be really negative. And over time, I've kind of been able to like make that little voice positive and make that little voice supportive. And so being alone with myself is actually really enjoyable. And I actually vibe with it really, really good. And I have a good sense of humor. So I just kind of like, I laugh at stuff that I do. Like I'll laugh at myself. And there's just something about laughing about yourself that is, I think, incredibly healthy. So I would recommend that. My gosh, some of these questions are interesting. What is my favorite animal? I've said this before, but the tuatara, it's this little, I guess it's a reptile. It's not a lizard though. It's like an ancient reptile. It lives in New Zealand on these little islands. It's really cool. You can look it up. I've talked about it before, but how do you stop inner hate? Literally what we're talking about. I honestly believe it starts with not taking yourself too seriously. Like it genuinely, if you have a negative voice in your head that's always like talking you down, making fun of you, telling you that your friends don't actually like you, like all of that kind of stuff, you first need to not take yourself seriously. And I've introduced a lot of humor. So when I do something stupid and I'm alone at home, like I'll like forget to close the fridge, or I'll break a jar or whatever, like I will make fun of myself. And that was like the easiest way to turn that negative voice in my head into something that was kind of positive and fun. And then I could just like laugh at myself, and I just stopped taking myself so seriously. And as a result, I also stopped taking everyone else so seriously, which has been really good, because the world is ridiculous. Like that's one thing that they really don't teach you, is that you might grow up in the world and develop some kind of thought around what is normal. But everything is ridiculous. I was outside this morning and I was like, snowflakes were falling on my coat and I could see the snowflakes. And I was like, how absolutely ridiculous is it that when rain comes down, it's cold, it freezes into these really delicate, unique crystallizations, like these little fractals and everything. I was like, life is ridiculous. Like that is just insane that that's a thing that happens. And we're just raised to think everything is normal and take everyone seriously. And I just like stopped taking everything seriously. I am 27 years old as of the filming of this video. That's one of the questions. How many toxic relationships have I been in? I don't really know how to answer this question. I have been in 3 long-term relationships. I don't think any of them would be described as toxic. They all ended because either me or both of us in the relationship realized that we were kind of done. We were done. Like the relationship had run its course. There was really no more room left to grow. One or both of us had decided that, like we were going to change it up. I moved in one case, like I physically moved location. And so like the relationship kind of didn't make sense to carry on because we both had different goals and that kind of thing. So I don't think I've been in I've had toxic situations where I've had to deal with some sort of like manipulation or gaslighting or those kinds of things. But I've never, knock on wood so far, I have never gotten into a relationship with somebody and then realized that the relationship is toxic. I have had toxic friendships, and that's not fun. Do I think magic exists when finding true love? That's a hard one, because I don't believe in love in first sight, but I believe once you fall in love, like boy howdy, is that a wild ride. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I think magic definitely exists, especially when it comes to like true love. I think true love is real. Like I think you can create it with not with anybody, but with a lot of different people. I think it's possible to create true love. So yeah, that's a good one. Do I want to answer that? Do I want to answer this one? I don't think so. No, we're not going to answer that one. What's been your most eye-opening experience in life? When my 2 best friends died in a car accident, that was the most eye-opening experience in my life. It has changed my life irrevocably. Yeah, that was quite an experience. I don't recommend it to anybody, but it has impacted my life in a huge way, and it has made me appreciate and cherish life on a level that I never did before. You could really describe my entire life as before that moment and after that moment, in a big way. Long distance relationship, yes, it's absolutely possible. I firmly believe in it, but both people have to be committed. Both people have to communicate. It is absolutely possible. I've said this a lot, but I also believe that a long distance relationship is possible as long as you guys have a game plan of when you're going to be together. As long as you make regular trips, or it's we're gonna finish once one of us is out of college, or once one of us has a job, like we're gonna come together and form a short distance, or you're gonna live in the same place. I think there has to be that. I don't think you can have a long-term relationship that's just perpetually going to be long-term forever. There's never any plan for you guys to live together. That's kind of, you know. Yikes. Sorry. From a scale of 1 to 10, how much gay are you? Um, that's a hard question, because I feel like in the same way that people can be culturally Jewish and they can be religiously Jewish, I feel like you can also be culturally gay and you can be like physically attraction gay, and so I don't know how to answer that. My instinct is just to say 7 out of 10 gay. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to elaborate. What do you think of a straight guy acting gay with each other as a joke? Okay, I do have a hot take on this. So, there are a lot of accounts on social media with men who pretend to be gay in order to make money online doing various things. And I don't like this. I don't think it's genuine. Just in terms of like gay representation, I don't think it's the healthiest thing. And I never think that it's appropriate to pretend to be something to make a living. It doesn't hit the same way as maybe an actor in a movie or a film. So yeah, I don't like that. I think if you are gay, then, be who you are. And if you are straight, be who you are. It's a little controversial, but I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah. What is my gym routine and how much do I bench? My gym routine is I typically go every single day. I do an hour of cardio running on a track. If I'm sore, I'll use like a stationary bike or something. And currently on free weights, like barbells, I bench, 140? 140 currently. And then I don't do like squats or any of that kind of stuff at this point. Like I don't do high intensity weightlifting just because I do calisthenics. So I'm not looking to like bulk up and become like a massive human being. So yeah. What age did you realize you were gay? I think I've said this before, but around 18, 19, that kind of age. I spent a long time just thinking that I was asexual. I wasn't interested in any of that kind of stuff. And I didn't really have like a gay awakening or anything, but yeah, it was around that time. So, what do you think your super mutant superpower would be? I've always liked the idea of teleportation, the idea of just like seamlessly teleporting, or telekinesis, like moving things with your mind, like being able to, yeah, I think that'd be cool. So yeah, I think we're gonna end it there because some of these I can't say on YouTube. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have future questions, leave them down below because I will pull some of them from here. Some of the questions I answered today came from the last Q&A. So if you haven't seen that one, you can go back and see that. I don't think there's many crossover questions. Sometimes I get asked the same questions, but I'm happy to answer them. So, thank you for watching. I hope you have a beautiful, amazing, gorgeous, magnificent, legendary, epic day. And as always, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow.